I'm going to swing all the way from Toronto over to Vancouver. That city took extraordinary steps today to force people to stay home. The city's council approved a motion that will see residents fined up to $1,000 for failing to comply with social distancing rules. Businesses face a fine of up to $50,000. That's after reports over the weekend of large groups of people coming together for outdoor picnics or to play soccer. Kennedy Stewart is the mayor of Vancouver. He joins us now. Hi, Mayor Stewart. Thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So can you update us, I guess, on we outlined there what happened in council today, but it sounds like obviously it was a straightforward decision for you and for council. Why is that?
Yeah, well, just starting last week, we started by closing bars and restaurants on St. Patrick's Day. We were worried about lots and lots of people coming downtown, so we had a health order from the Minister of Health to do that, and then we moved on to have a state of emergency where we started to shut down bars and restaurants and other establishments. However, over the weekend, as you said, there were people out in the beaches playing volleyball and soccer and all kinds of things they shouldn't be doing. And so I asked council, called another virtual meeting, a special council meeting where we've now approved these fines, which up to $50,000, as you said, for businesses that are not complying, and up to $1,000 for individuals. I have to say, though, there's been 95% compliance. Vancouverites have been awesome for the most part, staying home, doing the physical distancing, really pitching in to help us protect our most elderly and vulnerable people, as well as frontline workers. However, there's a few bad eggs out there that we have to stop asking nicely, and we're going to have to go after them if they don't.
What do you think? What do you think, Mayor, is the issue with that 5%? If 95% are complying, and to be fair, I've heard that from a number of mayors as well as premiers on this evening's program. Right? It's not the majority of people where they live, but for those people who aren't listening, why do you think it is? What's not getting through?
It's hard to say, really. I mean, we've got so many other things going on. We're not going to be interviewing people, and that's, they're just either they think they're immune, perhaps they. It's all age groups too. It's not just one particular group. So we just have to bring this in now, and then we have, I think, 20 bylaw officers that are out there. We've looked at I think about 1,000 businesses now. We've issued about 15 orders of non-compliance. We're asking again. We serve notice to a business, for example, and then if they continue not to shut down, then the fines kick in and we prosecute.
Yeah, that's actually what I want to follow up and ask you, just for business owners who are watching tonight in Vancouver, or for individuals who are. How will it work? Will you immediately be fined, or will you kind of get a warning first and then a ticket? How will it work?
Yeah, so what happens is the bylaw officers are checking in, and we also have people calling 311 to let us know if they see a non-compliant business. And then a bylaw officer will go to that premise and basically tape a notice on their door that gives them the warning. And then we haven't had to levy any fines yet, but we just passed this literally hours ago. So if they continue to stop, not complying, then we'll issue the fines. And if they don't pay the fines, then we prosecute them.
Do you think that there needs to be some sort of federal invoking of either the Emergencies Act or something more specific, so that it's not, I'm not taking away from anything that the Prime Minister has said. He's been unequivocal as well today. So has the Premier of your province. I mean, political leaders are on the same page when it comes to this, but does there need to be sort of more than a recommendation coming from the federal government when it comes to this?
I'm not giving advice to the Prime Minister and Cabinet. In fact, their outreach has been amazing. I have a call this evening with the Deputy Prime Minister. I think I talked to 3 ministers yesterday. I'm just really overwhelmed with the support here. And really, what I get asked is, what's going on in your neighborhood or in your city? What do you need? How can we help? And that's exactly what's been coming from the federal government. So I'm so grateful for that. Right now, we're focusing on the downtown east side. We have 10,000 folks that are either homeless or living in, single room occupancy hotels that cannot self-isolate. So that is now our top priority. And we need help from the feds and the province to really show compassion and protect these folks too, our most vulnerable citizens.
I know we spoke about this last week. Have you received assurances, I guess, from other levels of government that there will be help in the way of the issues that you identify there?
We are now knowing that the federal government is working on getting us supplies, which is really important for our hospitals and for frontline workers, which is great. I mean, but I know that there's supply chain issues on those items, so that's taking a little bit of time. For us, we're really just focused on Wednesday because that's the day that checks are issued. People get paper checks for the most part. They take them to some kind of establishment to cash them, and then they go buy whatever they need to survive. And we just got to make sure that we're trying to help them maintain the proper physical distance and hygiene. And that is a huge challenge in a neighborhood that's already under a health emergency for an overdose crisis. So this is our top priority, and the provincial health minister assures me it's his as well. So thanks to Adrian Dix, and governments are working as fast as we can, and we've never really had anything like this happen in Vancouver. So we're just moving as fast as we can, but taking action, that's the key.
When we spoke also last week, Mayor, we also discussed the sort of economic impact on Vancouver beyond what you were just describing. And I'm wondering now, we just got a number in nearly 1 million Canadians last week tried to access EI. That's compared to 27,000 that same week the year before. I'm wondering what that number says to you, and also what your sense is now, almost a week later, of the potential economic impact in your city.
Well, there's two things I'm looking at. First is the immediate needs of the city as an organization. So we know we're losing millions of dollars a week because we've closed community centers and other revenue generating, parking fines, all those kind of things have mostly been shut down. So we have a big deficit that we really appreciate some direct unconditional grants from either the federal or provincial government to help us with these shortfalls, which are going to really hit us hard as we move into the recovery. So, but the overall economy as well, we now know that it's okay to continue with construction, which is great. So we're going to try to keep passing rezonings to get rental buildings built. But again, it's tough when all your staff are at home working by computer. So we've got a lot. We've made it a priority to identify a lot of shovel-ready projects that we can get going on right away as soon as the coast is clear to get everybody back working. But in the meantime, it is going to be tough for everybody, businesses and employees, as well as layoffs start to ramp up.
Okay, I'll leave it there. I really appreciate you making some time. I know it's really busy. Thanks, Mayor Stewart.
No problem. Thanks for covering this.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.